Have you ever felt this quiet paradox, this subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the very currents of intimacy? It's a delicate truth, often unspoken, yet deeply understood by so many souls walking this path alongside you. You are not alone in this landscape of silent questioning. Imagine, if you will, a love that is deep and true, a connection woven through years, through shared laughter and quiet tears, through the very fabric of your lives. It is undoubtedly present. You feel its warmth, its steady hand, its unwavering commitment. There is no question in your heart about the presence of this profound affection. It is the bedrock upon which your shared world is built. Yet, within this sanctuary of love, something else, something vital, seems to have retreated. It's not gone entirely, no, but it has receded, like a tide pulling back from the shore, leaving behind a vast expanse where once the waves crashed with joyous abandon. The closeness of souls, that beautiful intertwining, it remains. It is the anchor, the quiet knowing glance across a room. But the fire of desire, that vibrant, incandescent flame, the very one that once ignited your world, that set your senses ablaze and made your spirit sing, now it flickers, barely audibly, a whisper where there was once a roar, a memory of heat rather than its living presence. It's a sensation that can leave us profoundly bewildered, isn't it? A silent question mark hanging in the air between two hearts that still beat in tandem. How can such deep love exist, yet the longing, the exquisite ache of physical desire seems to have dimmed? It's not a failure of love itself, nor a lack of appreciation for the person beside you. No, it is something far more nuanced, far more intricate. It's a challenge to our assumptions about what intimacy truly means, and how its various facets interrelate. Perhaps you found yourself wondering in the quiet hours of the night, what has changed? Where did that raw, magnetic pull go? The one that made your body instinctively lean in, that made your eyes linger, that quickened your breath with an unspoken promise. That current, so alive and potent, seems to have settled into a gentle hum, or perhaps a profound silence. It's a silence that speaks volumes, if we only learn to listen. It's a silence that can feel heavy, yet also holds a strange, quiet dignity. This quiet paradox is not an anomaly. It is a profound invitation, an invitation to look deeper, not just at the surface of touch or the act of intimacy, but at the very essence of what moves us, what connects us, what makes us feel truly alive. Because desire, you see, is not just a physical impulse. It is the language through which the soul speaks. It is a whisper of recognition, a longing for complete union, not just of bodies, but of spirits intertwined. It is the soul's deepest yearning for connection, made manifest in the physical realm. When that language changes, when the vibrant song of desire softens to a murmur, it often points to a larger truth about our own energy. It is a subtle indicator that the current of life within us, that vital creative force, may be seeking a new path, or perhaps is encountering a gentle blockage. When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex in isolation. We lose vitality. We lose that radiant zest for life that propels us forward, that fuels our creativity, that makes the world taste richer, brighter. This quiet paradox is not an anomaly. It is a profound invitation. An invitation to look deeper, not just at the surface of touch or the act of intimacy, but at the very essence of what moves us, what connects us, what makes us feel truly alive. Because desire, you see, is not just a physical impulse. It is the language through which the soul speaks. It is a whisper of recognition, a longing for complete union, not just of bodies, but of spirits intertwined. It is the soul's deepest yearning for connection, made manifest in the physical realm. When that language changes, when the vibrant song of desire softens to a murmur, it often points to a larger truth about our own energy. It is a subtle indicator that the current of life within us, that vital creative force, may be seeking a new path, or perhaps is encountering a gentle blockage. When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex in isolation. We lose vitality. We lose that radiant zest for life that propels us forward, that fuels our creativity, that makes the world taste richer, brighter. The world itself can seem to lose some of its vividness, its sharp edges and inviting textures, when this deeper current slows. Think of it not as a loss, but as a redirection of attention. The universe is always speaking to us, always guiding us. And this specific quietude, this gentle retreat of desire, is a significant message. It's asking us to feel, not just to understand intellectually, but to truly feel what is happening within our own energetic landscape. To acknowledge the shifting tides within our inner ocean, and to honor their mysterious rhythms. Between a man and a woman, there flows not just passion, but life itself. A shared river of energy that nourishes, transforms, and creates. When the nature of that flow shifts, it doesn't mean the river has dried up. Perhaps it has simply changed its course, or deepened in ways we haven't yet learned to perceive with our outer senses. It might be asking us to find new tributaries, to explore hidden springs of connection that lie beneath the familiar surface. This feeling, this quiet knowledge that something essential is muted, can sometimes bring a gentle sadness, a nostalgia for what once was. It's natural to miss the intensity, the effortless surge of that earlier fire. But let us not mistake this quietude for an ending. It is merely a transition, a new chapter in the exploration of human connection, one that demands a more subtle and profound engagement. It calls for patience, for kindness, and for a willingness to listen to the whispers rather than waiting for the shouts. Desire is not the body calling, it is the soul singing. And sometimes the soul's song changes. It might become a more contemplative melody, a deeper harmony, rather than an urgent aria. The question then becomes, are we listening? Are we truly attuned to this new rhythm? Are we open to the possibility that this quieter song holds its own unique beauty, its own profound truths? This space we are entering now, together, is for listening. It is for honoring these subtle shifts, for recognizing that the absence of overt passion does not diminish the depth of love, but rather invites us to explore love in its many, perhaps less obvious forms. It asks us to consider what other wells of vitality might be waiting within us, what other ways our spirit yearns to express its aliveness. What new creative channels might open when the focus shifts from one specific expression of energy to the broader current of life itself? Perhaps this quiet paradox is a gentle reminder that our energy, our sensual being, is not a static thing. It ebbs and flows, it transforms, it matures. And in its maturity, it calls for a different kind of attention, a deeper reverence. It calls for us to acknowledge that the current of life within us and between us is always moving, always evolving. It is a living, breathing entity just like us. We are not here to fix anything, but to understand, to illuminate, to gently draw back the veil on these unspoken feelings so that we might see them not as flaws, but as profound opportunities. Opportunities to reconnect with the wisdom of our own bodies, with the sacred current that animates our very being, and with the deeper, more expansive definitions of intimacy that await us. This conversation, held here in this quiet space, is an invitation to simply be present with this feeling, to hold it with tenderness, without judgment, to allow its subtle truths to unfold within you. For in truly listening to these quiet paradoxes, we begin to hear the deeper song of our own lives. We begin to understand that even in the quietest moments, life is speaking to us, offering new pathways to connection and aliveness. We often speak of love, of its enduring nature, its quiet strength that can weather storms. But what happens, my friends, when love remains steadfast, yet desire, that potent, undeniable current, begins to recede? When the fire still glows, but the spark that once ignited a wildfire between two souls seems to dim. We search for answers, sometimes with a quiet sadness, sometimes with a gnawing frustration. We look for blame, for fault, for a reason why the electric touch, the yearning gaze, the magnetic pull seem to have faded. But the truth, as always, is far deeper than accusation. Desire does not simply vanish into thin air. It is not a light switch, flicked off by a sudden whim. Imagine desire as a river, a powerful, living current that flows not just through us, but between a man and a woman, a river of life itself. When this river slows, it's not because the source has dried up, no. It's because obstacles have risen in its path, subtle, often unseen barriers that impede its natural, vibrant flow. What are these quiet dams? What are these stones that accumulate, slowing the current until it feels like a mere trickle or even a still, forgotten pool? Life, with its relentless pace, is often the first architect of these obstructions. The everyday rhythms, the endless responsibilities, the quiet hum of routine. We grow weary, don't we? Not just in body, but in spirit. The demanding obligations, the constant giving, the sheer weight of existence, all this can drain the wellspring. When we are tired, truly tired, the soul naturally retreats from the grand sensual dance, seeking only solace, only rest. The energy needed to truly feel, to truly desire, is simply depleted. Then there are the unvoiced resentments, the small hurts, tucked away and left to fester, the quiet disappointments, not addressed, not brought into the light. Each unsaid word, each unspoken need, each subtle misunderstanding can become a small, sharp stone dropped into the riverbed. They accumulate, these silent burdens, hardening into walls between us. They create a chill where once was warmth, a distance where once was effortless closeness. And the current, trying to flow, meets these invisible barriers, its powerful momentum slowed, diverted. And fear, too, can be a formidable dam. The fear of true vulnerability, of being completely seen, completely known in all our imperfections. The fear of not being enough, of failing to ignite that spark, or of being rejected if we dare to offer our innermost self. Sometimes it's even the fear of what that powerful current of desire might demand of us, should we truly surrender to its depth. This fear can cause us to unconsciously pull back, to guard our hearts, to keep the river's flow within safer, shallower banks. Perhaps, too, we lose touch with our own individual springs, the sources that feed our personal river. We forget that a man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder, when he stops tending to his own inner fire, his own creative wellspring. And when a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. But if she forgets to breathe deeply into her own essence, her own desires, if she neglects her own joy, her own vital spark, how can that vibrant energy then leap across and join with another? We must first be full within ourselves to truly share our fullness. And so often, we are simply absent. Physically present, perhaps, sharing the same space, the same bed. But our minds are elsewhere, lost in tomorrow's worries, yesterday's regrets, the endless digital distractions. We are not truly here, in this moment, with this person. And desire, true desire, the kind that bonds souls and ignites bodies, thrives on presence. It demands to be met with conscious awareness, with a gaze that truly sees, a touch that truly feels, a being that is fully there. When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex, we lose vitality. We lose the very pulse of being. The world itself can begin to feel a little duller, colors less vibrant, music less resonant. We feel disconnected, not only from our partner, but from the wellspring of our own life force, our own creative spirit. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. And when that flow diminishes, life itself feels diminished, a quiet longing for what once was, or for what we know is still possible. This is not about guilt, my friends, not about blame. It is about understanding. It is about gently, lovingly beginning to observe these subtle, often unconscious ways in which we, in our humanness, create these obstructions. We are not failing, we are simply out of sync, disconnected for a time from the source within ourselves, and thus from the profound, sacred current we yearn to share. To begin to see these blockages, to acknowledge their presence without judgment, is the first step in clearing the path. It is an invitation to rediscover the flow, to rekindle that essential closeness, to heal the distance between body and soul. For the riverbed is still there. The source has not vanished. It is simply waiting for us to tend to it, to clear the way, to allow the current to quicken once more. Desire is not the body calling, it is the soul singing. And when we gently remove these obstacles, that song can once again rise, clear and true, inspiring us, healing us, connecting us to the very heart of existence. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. And so, we arrive at the threshold of a deeper understanding. To speak of desire, to speak of intimacy, is to speak not merely of the body, but of the very breath of life itself. We often confine our understanding of this energy to the physical, to the fleeting moment of touch, or the urgent whisper of the senses. But what if we were to lift our gaze, to expand our awareness, and see something far grander, far more ancient? Imagine for a moment that what we call sexual energy is not an isolated impulse, but a universal current, a fundamental force that animates all existence. It is the same impulse that compels a seed to sprout through hard earth, a river to carve canyons, a star to ignite in the vast darkness. It is the creative spark that resides at the heart of everything, everything that yearns to express itself, to grow, to become. Between a man and a woman, then, flows not just passion, but life itself. It is a profound, intricate dance of two currents meeting, merging, and in that sacred convergence, the potential for new life, new ideas, new dimensions of being is born. This isn't just about procreation, no. It's about the generation of vitality, the renewal of spirit, the very essence of what it means to be alive, fully present, and connected. Consider the nature of desire. We are taught, perhaps implicitly, to view it with suspicion as something base or purely instinctual. But what if we were to reframe this understanding? What if desire is not the body calling, a crude, insistent demand, but instead it is the soul singing, a deep, resonant melody echoing from the innermost chambers of your being, expressing a yearning, a profound longing not just for another's touch, but for a return to wholeness, to completeness. Desire, in this light, becomes the language through which the soul speaks. It is a sacred dialect, articulating its profound need for fusion, for reunion, a recognition of a missing piece that, when found, allows for an expansion of self beyond individual boundaries. It speaks of the longing to dissolve, even for a moment, into something larger, something shared, something divinely interconnected. Can you feel that resonance within you? That quiet hum? This current of life, this vital energy, is intrinsically linked to our breath. Think of it. When a woman breathes deeply, truly deeply, not just shallowly in her chest, but down into her belly, into her very core, life breathes with her. Her entire being opens, expands, softens. She becomes a vessel for this universal flow. Her breath becomes a conscious conduit, drawing in not just air, but pure, unadulterated life force. And in that deep, rhythmic inhale and exhale, she doesn't just nourish her lungs, she awakens her inner landscape. She invites the sacred current to flow freely, to cleanse, to vitalize, to inspire. And for a man too, when he learns to breathe deeply, to hold his awareness in the present moment, he grounds himself. He becomes a pillar, a channel. His breath can be a steady anchor, allowing him to truly be with the flow, to receive and to offer without reservation. This brings us to the profound power of attention. In our hurried world, our attention is fragmented, scattered. We live in a constant state of distraction. But this deep, life-affirming energy, it thrives on presence. It thrives on an unwavering, gentle gaze. When we truly bring our attention to another person, not just seeing their surface, but feeling their essence, when we look with wonder, we open a portal. To see wonder in another, it is to perceive the divine spark within them. It is to recognize the entire universe contained within their eyes, their smile, their very being. It is to acknowledge that they are a unique, precious manifestation of this same universal life force that flows within you. This profound recognition, this act of seeing with presence, it is the true catalyst for attraction. Attraction, then, is not sin. It is not something to be shamed or suppressed. No, it is far grander than that. Attraction is the universe remembering itself. It is the cosmic recognition of two facets of the divine, drawn together by an invisible thread, seeking to reflect and refract the light of existence through each other. It is a sacred magnet, pulling kindred energies into a dance of recognition and communion. It speaks to the deep, archetypal longing for connection, for unity. It is an echo of the original oneness felt in the meeting of two souls. But what happens when this energy, this vital current, is blocked? When we wall it off through fear, through shame, through past wounds, or simply through inattention? When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex, no. We lose vitality. We lose the very spark that ignites our creativity, our joy, our passion for life itself. We become duller, listless. Our world shrinks. Our relationships feel drier, less resonant. The vibrant colors of existence begin to fade. We feel disconnected, not just from others, but from ourselves. The hum of life within us grows faint. This sacred energy, it is a creative force that nourishes all aspects of our lives. It is the wellspring of inspiration for the artist, the drive for the innovator, the compassion for the healer. It fuels our courage, our resilience, our capacity for empathy. It is the force that allows us to build, to dream, to connect, to heal. When this current flows freely, we are not just alive, we are vibrant. We are radiant. We are fertile ground for all that is good and beautiful to blossom. And a man doesn't lose power when he ages. He doesn't lose his capacity for deep connection or profound desire. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder, when he ceases to see the magic in the everyday, the divine in the human, the universe in the eyes of another, when his gaze becomes jaded or purely utilitarian or simply unseeing. To maintain true power, true potency, is to maintain that childlike capacity for awe, for reverence, for seeing beyond the obvious. It is to stay open. This energy, this essence, is not something you have to acquire or invent. It is not a skill to be learned from a manual. It is already within you. It is the very essence of who you are, waiting to be acknowledged, to be honored, to be allowed to flow. It is a quiet truth, a gentle whisper that has always been there, beneath the surface of your conscious mind. It is time to remember that your capacity for deep connection, for profound intimacy, for sacred desire, it has never truly left you. It simply awaits your conscious breath, your gentle attention, your open heart. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. And so, we find ourselves at a threshold, don't we? A quiet place where the heart still recognizes love, yet the body, perhaps, feels a whisper of absence. A longing for a spark that once danced so brightly, now seemingly muted, or perhaps simply hidden from view. It's a common journey, this subtle shifting of inner landscapes, and it often leads us to ask, how do we return? Not to a past moment, but to the living current of what is truly possible, right here, right now. This path, this art of returning, is not found in techniques or remedies. It is a journey inward, a gentle turning back to ourselves. For to truly awaken desire, we must first awaken ourselves. We must return to the feeling of our own body, to the deep rhythm of our breath, to that undeniable inner spark that has always glowed within each of us, waiting to be acknowledged. Think of it. When a woman breathes deeply, truly deeply, life breathes with her. It's not merely air filling her lungs. It is a sacred current flowing through her, awakening every cell, every nerve, every quiet corner of her magnificent form. And when a man allows himself to feel this same deep grounding breath, he connects not just to his physical self, but to an ancient wellspring of presence and power. This is the first step to simply be in your own skin, to feel the exquisite, raw reality of your own existence. This journey requires a particular kind of courage, the courage to feel without judgment, without agenda, to touch, not to achieve a goal, but simply to be present. A mindful, loving touch, whether it's your own hand upon your skin or your partner's hand upon yours, that seeks nothing beyond the simple, profound act of connection. It's in this space of pure presence that magic begins to unfurl. The body remembers its language. The soul begins to sing. Desire is not the body calling, it is the soul singing. And then there is the art of seeing. How often do we look at our beloved and truly see them, as if for the very first time? With that initial wonder, that innocent admiration that first drew us close? Time, familiarity, the everyday currents of life, they can lay a gentle veil over our eyes. We see the known, the expected, rather than the ever-unfolding mystery. But to rekindle the flame, we must lift that veil. We must dare to look again with fresh eyes, with an open heart, and with genuine awe. A man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder. And a woman doesn't lose her allure with time. She loses it when she stops feeling seen, truly seen, with that same appreciative gaze that once ignited her spirit. This isn't about physical perfection. It's about the deep, soul-level recognition. It's about remembering the extraordinary in the ordinary. It's about seeing the universe reflected in the eyes of the one you love. For attraction is not sin. It's the universe remembering itself. This art of returning also calls for a renewal of deep, sincere dialogue. Not just words, though words are precious, but a dialogue of shared presence. A silent conversation held in the space between two beings. A willingness to simply be together, without distraction, without the need to fill every moment with sound or activity. To allow the simple act of shared breath, shared quiet, to dissolve the distances that may have grown between bodies and souls. It is in this profound stillness that understanding blossoms and intimacy finds its truest voice. When energy is blocked, we don't lose sex. We lose vitality itself. We lose the creative current that flows through every aspect of our lives. But when we allow this energy to flow freely, when we honor its sacred nature, it transforms not just our intimate lives, but our very existence. Between a man and a woman flows not just passion, but life itself. It is a current that nourishes creativity, ignites inspiration, and deepens our connection to all that is vibrant and alive. This is not about chasing a fleeting sensation. It is about remembering a fundamental truth, that the deep wellspring of desire, of life force, of creative energy has always resided within you. It is a gift, a sacred trust, waiting for your conscious presence, your gentle invitation. It waits for you to return to yourself, and in doing so, to return to the heart of your connection with another. It asks for your patience, your reverence, your willingness to feel. Love. Feel. Breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken. We have journeyed together, haven't we? Through the quiet corridors of longing, past the shadows of what once was, and into the tender space of what could be. You came seeking answers, perhaps, to a question that aches in the heart. Why does desire seem to fade? Why does the current of life sometimes feel so distant, even when love is present? And now, as we draw to a close, I invite you to simply breathe. To allow the air to fill your lungs, to settle in your chest, and to gently expand into every cell of your being. Feel how that breath is not just air, but a whisper of life itself, moving through you, always. For the essence we've spoken of, this vibrant, creative current we call sensual energy, is not something that can truly vanish. It is not a flame that extinguishes permanently. It is the very pulse of existence, always present, always flowing beneath the surface. Sometimes, yes, it feels dormant, like a great river whose waters are held back by an unseen dam, or diverted into smaller, less vibrant streams. But the source, the wellspring, remains eternally full. Think of it. Desire is not the body calling alone. No, it is the soul singing, a deep, resonant hum that connects us to the universe, to each other, and most profoundly, to ourselves. When we perceive this energy as merely physical, as something to be controlled, or worse, to be ashamed of, we diminish its true power. We build those dams. We create those diversions. And then we wonder why the river of our lives feels less abundant, less joyful. When energy is blocked, we don't just lose what we might call sex, we lose vitality. We lose that spark of curiosity that lights up our days. We lose the creative fire that fuels our passions, whether they be in art, in work, or in the simple, profound act of connecting with another human being. This feeling of disconnection, this quiet sadness, is often nothing more than the soul's yearning to remember its song. And what about that gentle ache, that feeling of nostalgia for a time when things felt different? That is not a sign of loss, but a powerful invitation. An invitation to look closer, to listen deeper, to realize that the attraction you feel, the yearning for closeness, is not a sin. It is the universe remembering itself. It is the echoes of life's primordial dance resonating within you. Between a man and a woman, yes, flows not just passion, but life itself. But before that, within each man and woman flows an even vaster ocean, an ocean of creative potential, of healing warmth, of sacred connection. This is the source, and it is always waiting for your conscious attention, for your gentle touch to flow anew. A man doesn't lose power when he ages. He loses it when he stops looking with wonder, when he ceases to see the incredible, intricate beauty of the world, and of the woman beside him and within himself. And when a woman breathes deeply, life breathes with her. When she truly inhabits her body, her sensual energy becomes a force of nature, a wellspring of wisdom and grace. It's not about regaining youth, it's about reclaiming your truth. This journey we've shared, it is about understanding that the power of desire is not something external to be sought, but an internal landscape to be explored. It's about recognizing that the greatest intimacy begins with yourself. It's about letting go of the fear, the judgments, the societal whispers that have told you this force is dangerous or dirty. Because when we stop being afraid of our own power, life begins to flow again, a full flowing river. It asks for no grand gestures, no complicated techniques, only a soft turning inward, a quiet permission to feel, to allow, to breathe into the sensation of being alive in all its messy, magnificent glory. To trust that the current knows where to go, if only you remove the obstacles. So let this understanding settle within you now. Let it be a gentle balm to any lingering wounds, a soft light in any shadowed corners. The wellspring is there. It has always been there, and it is yours to drink from, to nourish your spirit, to infuse your life with renewed purpose and joy. Love, feel, breathe. The energy within you has never died. It's been waiting for you to awaken.